Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Jaron Rosien. Our producer is Nick Steffens. Our publisher is Matt Bryant, and we're part of the Southeast Iowa Union. If you'd like to advertise on Washington Live, you want to contact Julie at the Journal or the Southeast Iowa Union. Our guest today is Sarah Grunewaldt. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Happy to be here.
And of course, Sarah wears many hats. Currently, Outreach Engagement Coordinator for Johnson County Public Health. Former Main Street Director. Perfect that we just had Sam on Monday, the new director. But today we'll be talking about the new film festival, the Farm to Film Fest, that will be in 2023, correct?
Yep, coming up.
So after the break, we'll begin that conversation. First, I guess I missed the weekend. Nick, how was your life?
It was good. Didn't do anything because we had 2 weekends of Thanksgivings, and then we're about to have like 3 weekends of Christmas with family. And so Jade and I did absolutely nothing.
Good for you.
Yes.
Nice to have pause.
Yes.
Thanks to Diana for hosting on Monday. I did the annual family hunt for first shotgun season. I have a picture of our group. We took a break to come into Caden's archery tournament. So all of us came in for one 10-year-old's archery tournament, and we were respectful, but a little bit of a spectacle. It was great because during the breaks when he would come back with his arrows, we did a variety of different gestures, like deer sparring, other okays, like just a little bit of respect.
Oh, I love it.
Most people were smiles. We had one stink eye. It was fine. If Tara blessed it, it was good. Oh yeah, here's a selfie in the woods. So I had an opportunity for a buck that was not successful, but I took a doe the last morning I went out. That we were not going to show a picture.
We had a photo of it, and then we made the decision to pull it.
To not show the photo, but crumpled in one shot. So very clean.
Good job.
Yeah. Do you hunt? Sean hunts.
No, neither of us do.
No hunting for Sean?
Nope.
He seems like outdoorsy and like he would just...
He likes to camp and he likes to fish, but hunting is not
Very good.
something that he grew up doing, so.
Well, I will get back to focusing here. This weekend was also a very successful tour of homes, successful deer hunting, and I will plug an event that I have coming up. The Ryan Doty Holiday Concert at my bar, JP's, is Saturday, December 17th. And we'll do a ticket for just the show or a ticket with the meal and the show. If that's a fit for you, you can find that on our JP's Facebook page. Let's do our police report. I'm glad that you can join it. You said this is your favorite part.
I love reading the blotter every morning. I get so much joy out of it. There's always some good ones that are kind of silly, but then there's also some obviously very serious things that, our PD deals with. And
before we started the show, you mentioned a favorite with the chicken. Would you describe it?
So it was a couple years ago. There was a woman, and rightfully so, she heard someone breathing outside of her window and got very nervous. And so she called the police, which she should. And they went around her house, couldn't find anything, and she called back because she heard it again. And it was a chicken who was wheezing underneath her window. And it was listed as chicken with a breathing problem in the blotter, which
is great.
I, to this day, obviously can repeat the story. This was probably 5 years ago at this point.
Well, that's why we do it. There's serious things and the others. I've been highlighting a lot of the animal stuff now that we're kind of getting into the fall where the deer are out. But to summarize, we've had 51 calls for service since the last show, 15 in traffic, 7 in fire, 6 in the arrest warrant, 4 in the welfare check, just 3 animal in the last 2 days, 2s and 1s for the rest of the list. Let's start with December 5. We have loose animals on 6th Street in Kelowna. Requested deputy, 92-8 responded, made contact with the owner of the sheep in the 1000 block of Nutmeg. They have retrieved the animals. This will happen.
It happens.
We have a report of the neighbor putting in driveway stakes and bent them in, so he's having a hard time getting into his driveway. 9211 spoke with both subjects. Unfounded. Stakes are off the travel portion in the grass. So a little miscommunication there with the driveway stakes. Other things, people being arrested. We have the report of a gas smell. This was on the square here. Fire department and Alliant responded. Fire department located a leaking LP cylinder behind West 2nd. Alliant Energy fixed the problem. So good call there.
Good call.
We have on 250th, striking an animal, red GMC Sierra versus deer. And that's about it for that one. We had a request for an officer for assistance with a neighborly dispute about a fire. 109 responded and spoke to all parties involved. There should be no further issues. These are the in-between-the-lines ones that, like, what?
Yeah.
So it goes. Here was some bad behavior on Highway 1 in Larch. Caller reports a gray Toyota is driving too close and has their headlights on, causing him to not be able to see. Vehicle passed the caller, and the driver appeared to be texting and driving at a high rate of speed. 929 responded, located the vehicle, and conducted a vehicle stop at Highway 1 and 250th. Subject was given a warning for failure to dim headlamps and was advised of the caller's complaint. That is bad behavior.
That is bad behavior.
Not only are you texting and driving, you're swerving up on someone, leaving your lights on, and then passing them. That's some obnoxious
Well, if you haven't seen the last episode, but the blue Ford Ranger is back. So go back and watch.
Was it the donuts?
Yes.
Yes.
We're getting closer to figuring out who it was.
Well, yes, because our park superintendent witnessed the blue Ford Ranger cutting the donuts, which does damage. And then we have to bring equipment out, and they have to smooth it, and then there's ruts.
Where did this happen?
At the wellness park. And this is like our fourth call with the blue Ford Ranger. If you be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think parents are now aware. I think we've got a license plate, but then it's all like, I wasn't driving.
Well, yes, I think they've gone to the home. So,
which is very convenient.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't me. It was a different person.
And I don't think it was the same kids in a blue Ford Ranger that yelled obscenities at me while filming a commercial.
A coincidental blue Ford Ranger in Henry County harassing Nicholas.
As a high school soccer coach, I would like to find those children and make them rake those donuts out of that parking lot, because we play there and we practice there. And
Thank goodness it's not the field.
Yeah.
Because that's why we have fences to protect that.
Oh, yeah.
We just have a couple more things before we move to the next day, so it's been busy. Barking dogs in the backyard of a residence. Okay, and this I highlighted because we had two of these. Des Moines Police Department advised they are out with the subject with a Washington County arrest. Lots of things, a whole list of drugs and alcohol. Next one, Johnson County advises they located the subject with a Washington County warrant. So we're giving out the warrants, and then they're fleeing, and they're still getting caught.
Good.
Finally, car versus deer accident. Our next day, as we move on, just had a couple highlights. Smoke coming from a residence, couldn't tell if it was heat or fire. It was just fire. Car versus deer with a Ford Explorer. 2485 Highway 92, caller advised he witnessed 8 to 10 subjects get into a box trailer being pulled by a tractor and left going westbound on East Washington from Walmart. 111 checked the area, unable to locate. Isn't that a curious one?
That is a curious one.
I wish I knew what they were up to.
Yep. And then we have barking dogs, loud music in an apartment, and a traffic stop where a bunch of naughty juveniles got arrested. 20 years old, 18 years old, 18 years old, underage, drinking, gravel, booze, cruising.
Couldn't wait
and
one more year. Come on.
Shenanigans. That is our police report. I've mentioned local events. Is there anything else before we go to break?
I don't believe so.
Well, today's show's main purpose will be the conversation about the Farm to Film Fest. We'll pick up where we left off right after the break. Stick around. We'll see you in a moment.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
Hey, Andrea. I was out on a walk the other day and I saw a sign on a business that said man wanted for robbery. So I went in and applied for a job.
How many of these are there?
Okay, you're done.
Welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm Jaron, that's Nick, and our guest is Sarah. Thanks to Todd for our jokes of the day and for Nick to telling it to us.
Yeah, there's some new ones coming. We've been reusing them, but Todd sent me some new ones yesterday, so got to edit them all together.
All right, we'll get those in the mix. Well, what we're here today to talk about is the Farm to Film Fest. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
And this is a great topic because I'm familiar with like a little bit of it, but not a lot of it. So for our viewers, let's start at the beginning, the origin of this brand new event.
So it was either 2018 or 2019. I was running Main Street at the time, and we hosted a community visioning forum with Michael Wagler, who's the state coordinator for the Main Street program here in Iowa. And one of the project's goals that came up was wanting to celebrate our film heritage in a more full manner. We had just come off having the 175th celebration where Mike showed silent films from the Britons. Saving Brinton had premiered and was doing wonderful at all these international film festivals. And then on top of that, we had just received the Guinness Book of World Records rating for the theater here in town. So being the world's oldest continuously operating movie theater. So, you know, all of those things combined, this group of volunteers was like, you know, wouldn't it be cool if we hosted a film festival and tap into it, and just because we're not celebrating our film heritage, and a lot of what we were seeing was kind of downplayed because, you know, the Britons are they were weird people. We've all heard the story,
which I love about it. And Mike came on.
Right.
And we're going to have Mike on to talk about nativity scenes, but he talked about Indiana and what she would wear around the house.
Sure. And they were just kind of ahead of their time. Eclectic, right.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people kind of like downplayed that history, but it's really something we should be celebrating. And so we started planning this film festival Lyle Moen's my co-chair, and he and his wife started traveling all over Iowa, going to all these film festivals.
Let's hop into that real quick. What does a film festival look like? It's like you're watching a film, right? Like as a group, it's at all at the same time and you like rotate around, or what does a film festival look like?
Yeah, so we ask filmmakers to submit films that are different lengths. So it can be as few as a few minutes or a couple seconds. It could be as long as an hour and a half.
Okay.
There's different
shorts or features.
Yep. So we have different categories that we ask them to submit in. None of them are movies that you're going to see in the theater. They're going to be small productions, and basically we'll have 4 to 5 locations where we're going to be showing films simultaneously for 2 days. We will show the same films multiple times, so if you miss it one time, you might catch it another time.
Scheduling is flexible for those that can make some, but not every moment.
Right, and if there's one that you really want to see that it plays maybe at the same time as the 2, you may find it later on in the festival.
Brilliant.
I think we're going to try to show them 2 to 3 times, so you'll have a chance to rotate them. We should have a schedule of about 50 different films. And we may lump some of them together. So if they're real short,
you do a few.
We'll do a few at a time. And then sometimes we'll have film festivals, we'll have filmmakers there to lead discussions or open Q&As afterwards. And really our goal is to kind of engage our community and like inspire some thought-provoking conversations. Some of these may have social justice angles. Some of them may have ag angles. Some of them may just be travel films. There's like a broad plethora of what we're going to get. But really, we wanted to enrich that film heritage we have in this community and build it and celebrate it. And so we thought that this was the best way possible.
Well, and then the title kind of ties into our heritage as well. That's not just film, but also our ag, which is farm. But that doesn't mean it's a 2-day ag educational film fest. It's
not at all.
Named to tie into our location, right?
Yep, our heritage and our location. And we would be very dumb to overlook how important ag is to our community. To get here, you have to drive through miles and miles of farmland. Why would we
to the film fest?
Right. So why would we ignore that? So I have had that question a lot from filmmakers, like, does my film have to be about ag? No. it does not. It can be about anything. I think we have one about a dentist.
Perfect. Well, and let's talk about submissions in a moment. But Nick, you mentioned you might interject more on this episode because this is your background, digital media production.
Yeah, I mean-
so did you make a film for your degree or with friends,
Yeah.
or tell us?
So I made one that was based off of Aldo Leopold, who was a naturalist from Burlington, Iowa.
Okay.
Just did like a nature video off his, and then I did my own short film a year ago now.
So I think we've recruited a volunteer.
Yes,
Come
this
on
is something
in.
I'm very, very interested in, and they're always just fun. Like I said, if there's a filmmaker there that can kind of do a Q&A with, it's just seeing everyone's films. It's always a good time.
Well, that is exciting, and I think Sarah's the co-chair for the Farm to Film Fest. We'll pull into that experience.
And it's also nice because as a filmmaker, I guess, is what I am, finding local Iowa film festivals is very, very difficult. You know, if you miss that window, and then, or like if I think Burlington, Dubuque, Des Moines has one, if you miss those small windows, you're kind of screwed for a full calendar year.
Yeah.
And so having these local ones will be super, super
Well, and
nice.
that's what
And it's
I
going to
liked.
bring in people from not just Washington. It will bring in probably, I'm going to assume, from all over the area.
That's what I love how you mentioned these are not films that you will see in the theater. Your opportunity to have this experience is during the film fest.
Yeah.
How would people submit their films? What's the process that the group is using for submission and selection?
So there is a website called Film Freeway, which we're utilizing. If you go to our website, there's a button that
Which
will
we
take.
will put in the chat, as we always do. You can click the comment button and find right where that needs to be. Of course, if you haven't done so, you can like and follow, or specifically regarding film, if you'd like to share that directly to someone that you know, that's how we want to build this event, I think.
Yeah,
Sorry
absolutely.
to cut you off.
No. So we, on our website, there's the button. You go and submit. There are different categories. You tell us what category you're submitting under, and we're currently accepting films under our standard deadline until the 18th of this month. We do have an extended window that goes through February 2nd, but there's a late fee. And we'll let filmmakers know by the end of March if they've been selected or not, and why, and how we're scoring. But our committee, which is 8 people,
Wonderful.
will be watching all of the films and debating them out and selecting and putting them together, and then we'll be putting the schedule together.
Is it expensive to submit one of someone's film?
I think a standard rate is like $30 right now. We do have a student rate, so if there are student films, it's about half the price. It's about $15.
So $30 to submit, and then what are those funds used for? I mean, it doesn't seem like a big moneymaker, but I assume that offsets marketing of some sort?
Yeah, it goes into our budget, and Film Freeway takes a cut. Obviously, it's a service that they provide, but yeah, that money goes back into our account and for the budget. So.
Well, I'm excited to see what comes through the mix. When is the film festival scheduled to be?
It's May 20th and 21st, 2023.
Awesome.
Which is Saturday and a Sunday. We're excited. It's right before Memorial Day, which downtown will be absolutely stunning by that point.
Yes, it's
And
perfect.
The baskets usually are up by then, the flowers, and I'm going to wheedle Nick to get the park fountain ready to go early.
Because we'll be bringing all those people in. I have a birthday on the 23rd,
Ooh,
but I have that marked on my calendar. I have it in my phone. It'll be my first. I've heard of film festivals. I've seen like film festival awards, but I just have never had my head quite wrapped around what a film festival is because I've never experienced one.
well, and Lyle and Nancy were great. They've been to all sorts of them, and there's actually a lot of film festivals in Iowa. When we went to do the schedule, we compared against our own community calendar and then all the film festivals, and finding a weekend that was free in Iowa is hard. There's a lot.
I think that's newer, right? Has it always been the case or just in the last 5, 10, 15 years?
I think there's some that have been around a long time. Like the Julian Dubuque Film Festival has been around like 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Oneota, which is the one, we worked with them really quite closely. They're in Decorah. Lyle is from Decorah, and their director was absolutely lovely. She shared a lot of tips and tricks and notes and their budget and stuff to kind of help us get a picture of what this is going to look like to get started, and just helped us kind of get an idea of rules we should have and the kind of general layout of all of that.
Well, let's dive into that. Sometimes I like to ask like what the most challenging or the most exciting thing is on two different veins. Like what is the biggest hurdle to overcome in this first inaugural film fest?
I think, well, number one, fundraising is going to be key because we have to raise enough money to do all the promotional materials, paperwork, all the booklets we print and stuff. And people don't know what to expect, right? We don't know how many people are going to show up. Right now we're sitting at about half the number of films we want. So that's the other thing is
That'll determine the schedule, how many submissions, yep.
Right. And so making sure we have enough films to fill our schedule, making sure that we help promote that farther out, and making sure it's worth our sponsors' while. That's a big thing. So making sure that we give promotion out to and promote our businesses too, because that's the other thing is.
Yeah, so to the mutual benefit of sponsors, I did $100, and I can afford that and do that for out the gate, but there is bigger and better and more bang for your buck if you're looking to be a sponsor. We have that form. I think we'll put that out there too.
Yep.
Because if people are interested and it's a good fit, I think it's a win-win.
Right. And we have,
exposure.
Individual sponsors too. So if people are sitting at home and are interested in contributing, it is a charitable donation. So you can take it off your taxes. At the end of the day, we are a 501c3. So that's delightful too.
There are options. If we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to click on to anything that we've missed and of course end with the birthday game. I've learned a lot. If you haven't marked your calendar yet, you could do so for May 20th and 21st for the Farm to Film Fest, the very first. I am excited because I imagine I like to socialize a little bit and then watch the film. I imagine there'll be food and drink and that type of refreshment involved in the locations that exist. We'll talk about that after the break. We'll see you in just a moment.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm Jaron, that's Nick, and this is Sarah. We've been talking about the Farm to Film Fest. We've also been working on being more interactive, but I forgot to say that. Because I was on the break asking, what did we miss? Is there anything from the notes? But the thing is, if there's something you want to know, you can stick that right in the chat. Sarah has been a great viewer and occasionally corrects or informs in the comments.
I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I know that our guest today will be watching the comments, and if there's something that you are curious about, feel free to throw that in the chat, and one of us will get after it. If there's a birthday shout out, you can always put that in the chat. You can also email washialive@gmail.com for upcoming events, anniversaries, birthdays, so on and so forth. I'm excited for this first Farm to Film Fest.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, Decorah was really lovely with sharing some stuff, and we're going to keep it kind of simple this year, but we can always build, and we've had some filmmakers reach out about doing workshops, and we may include those too. So
Well, we have time. I imagine we will invite you back with Lyle closer to the event itself to talk about, as things get finalized, locations and what people can expect. We'll make sure to keep our people in the loop so
Absolutely,
they can
that'd be great.
participate. Do we have any birthdays in the chat right now?
We do not.
Well, I have a couple birthdays to wish today for Brent Pfeiffer and Jessica Brubaker, who I went to college with 20 years ago. Happy birthday to you. And I have some belated birthdays for Nick Sorensen, former Fire Chief Tom Wide, Christy Bean, and Joe Reed. Happy belated birthday. Sarah, are you familiar with the birthday game?
I am, and I'm terrible at it, so you may win today.
Which is unusual, so that'll be fine.
Who knows if my pop culture knowledge will do me proud today or not.
Well, I was excited to have you on. We didn't get into the weeds much, but the historical and trivia knowledge that you have, similar for Nick, there's a pile of information in that brain. Not math skills, but...
Nope.
Yeah, me either. So. Match made in heaven, Nick.
Yes.
For the next time. Take it away, Nick.
Well,
What's
since you know the rules, I think we should just hop right into it.
Well, first, it is the National Pearl Harbor Remembrance
Yes.
Day,
Oh, yes.
December 7th, 1941.
Yep.
December 7th today. I didn't think about that at the start.
Yes.
However,
skipped over that.
Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. And birthdays for, looks like 4 celebrities. Take it away.
Yes. So first up, we have Larry Bird. Well, let me find him. Oh, he's the other way. Here we go.
Oh.
Which
all right.
someone, when I used to make TikTok, someone commented he looks like Jerry Bird on it, and it has kind of messed up my self-confidence since.
I don't get it.
Well, because when he was played basketball, he had a mustache and shaggy blonde hair. And so, yeah.
I see. Well, you do have those two things. I guess first, would you like to...
Jeez. I'm trying to think. Is he 78?
I will go under to 75.
He is actually 66. He's
Sorry, Larry.
He's never been the best-looking basketball player. But
Well, so it goes. Who do we have next?
next up, we have Nicholas Hoult, almost Batman, lost to Robert Pattinson.
He was in X-Men, right?
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, he was in X-Men. Well, he's in a lot of stuff, but he's always in makeup or
makeup,
something
yeah.
like Mad Max. He's pale and bald, and so.
Right.
Blue eyes. Okay. I will say 31.
I'm going to go 28.
28. He is 33. So, Jaron,
Ooh.
I told you I'm terrible at this game.
I didn't know it could go either way. What do we have next?
we have Jeffrey Wright, who's in Westworld, and actually did get cast in the Batman. So,
Nice. Have you seen Westworld? Do you watch any
I
HBO?
have, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I've been watching The White Lotus.
Okay, I haven't watched that one yet. That one's on my list.
Have you seen? So you haven't seen season 1? Mm-hmm. You'll love it.
Okay.
Highly recommend.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to go back.
old.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
I think it's my turn first.
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, it is. It is.
43.
46.
He's actually 57, so he's aging.
Well, dang.
Aging better than Larry Bird.
We are just killing it.
Last one is Terrell Owens, the former football player, could not find a photo where he didn't have sunglasses on and looking right at the camera where he was not minimally clothed, I shall say.
Okay.
Why would he? Oh,
He does a lot of like Sports Illustrated.
well, thank you.
all those,
Thanks
like,
to
He
our
really
viewers.
likes himself.
Yes.
Let's put it that way, yeah.
Yes.
All right. I think you are my first.
It's
on
your
this?
first.
All right. So, I should do deductive reasoning. I can't even see anything. 40,
Exactly. Like, it's-
47. Maybe it's 43. Maybe it's 37.
Which are you going with?
I'll do 47.
41.
He is 49. So Jaron, you win 2-0.
I am so sorry. I don't feel like a gracious.
No, you can gloat. Absolutely gloat.
I didn't even wipe the board. That 2-0. I will save my trophy for another day. Thank you to all of our viewers that make this possible. Thank you to our guest today, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll have you back when we get closer to the event to talk more about the Farm to Film Fest. Check in the comments to see more for yourself. And if you have any questions, you can put them right there too. Looking forward to our next episode of Washington Live. We'll pre-record tomorrow. And next week, we'll have Mike Zoz to talk about the nativity scenes at the Hills Bank. We'll see you soon on Washington Live.